Dr. R. Hemavati is an assistant professor in mathematics in Queen Mary's, Chennai. She has specialized on functional analysis. Having 12 years of experience in teaching, she has won various awards for her performance. She has published papers in 14 international journals, 3 national journals, and has presented papers in 10 international and in 5 national conferences. She is also one of the editors for an international journal.
Welcome to UGC lecture series. We have been talking about this subject, applied statistics, with the combination of economics and statistics. Various topics like analysis of time series, index numbers, statistical quality control, various sampling plans have been discussed so far. With the economic aspect of statistics, we will go further into the study of demographic data. So, to start with, the objective of this session is to study about various sources of demographic data and the census report of India. Also, a detailed study about vital statistic was done. When we talk about sources of demographic data in India, the main sources are population census, civil registration, sample surveys and family welfare program data. Of these, the population census are the most comprehensive sources of data. So, we will study the sources of demographic data one by one. To start with, we will study the population census. The history of population census, the first systematic census on all India basis referred to as 1872 census was spread over the period 1867 to 1872 in different parts of India. Actually, the first census was conducted in 1881 on a uniform basis over the entire country of India. Since then, decennial census have been undertaken regularly at 10-year intervals. That is, when the first was conducted at 1881, the next census will be conducted at 1891 and 1901, then 1911, like that it was considered. The reference date for 1981 was the sunrise of 1st March 1981, that is what is called as the census year. Like the academic year starts from June to April and the financial year starts from April to March. The census year was considered to be as the 1st March of the particular year. So, the reference date for 1981 was the sunrise of 1st March 1981 was taken into consideration, and then there are two methods of census enumeration, de jure method and de facto method. First one, de jure method. According to de jure method, persons are enumerated on the basis of their usual place of residence. Whereas, according to de facto method, persons are enumerated according to their presence in the place of enumeration in India. Actually, in India, de jure method is used, wherein their usual place of residence is taken into account when the census is taken. Since 1961, a uniform method of house listing has been adopted. That is, the people will go to each and every house and count the number of people in each house. So, this kind of house listing was being adopted, the purpose being to assist the enumerator in covering the entire jurisdiction of without omission or overlapping. The coverage of items in the census are as follows. Population census, this covers demographic and personal characteristics, educational characteristics, migration characteristics and economic characteristics. That is, when the census report is being taken, first of all they will talk about, they will question the family members in a particular residence about the personal characteristic first of all, and about the educational, that is how many persons are educated and how many persons are illiterate in the family. That kind of data will be collected. Next, their migration, their native place and how they migrated to a particular place was taken into consideration. That type of question will be asked, and also their economic situation in the family, that is how many members are earning, and that kind of data will be collected based on the economic characteristics. Then housing census. Housing census in the sense the type of house with material used, purpose for which it is used, a number of persons residing in the household and other relevant information. Further, there are ancillary studies in censuses covering such areas as village surveys, urban and town studies, and ethnographic notes, scientific and technical personnel. We will just compare the past 3 decades census report, that is the Census of India of 1991, then afterwards Census of India 2001 and Census of India 2011 will be compared with the tabular column here afterwards. So, first of all, talking about Census of India 1991, some of the salient features of the Census of India 1991 are as noted below, that is first of all house list, enterprise list, PG degree holders list and individual list. What is meant by house list? Besides name, sex, age, religion, etc. of the inmates of the house, information is also collected on such aspect as number of rooms in the house, material used for construction of the building, whether the house is rented or owned, and facility for drinking water, toilet, electricity, and whether the head of the house, the family head, scheduled caste or scheduled tribe, that kind of information was also collected, and information on fuel used for cooking is also sought. This kind of information is will be put under the heading of a house list. Then enterprise list is information is collected on the nature of enterprise, ownership, number of persons employed, whether full time or part time, and this list was prepared on behalf of the Central Statistical Organization India, that is famously called as CSO, Central Statistical Organization. Then nowadays holding a degree has become so common, therefore we will go ahead and advanced list of PG degree holders list was collected, that is this is for the information of PG degree holders and technical personnel in the family. Individual list. Individual list contains 23 questions based on name, sex, religion, mother tongue, economic activity, place of birth, reasons for migration if applicable, etc. of every individual of the household. For married women, separately the questions were asked, such as the age at marriage and number of children and the children's gender, ever born and living, and whether any child was born to a recently married woman during 1 year. Like that type of information was also carried out with respect to married women. So, that was the questions and the listings done at 1991 when the census was taken. Next, the Census of India 2001 was considered. In place of the individual slip and the household schedule canvassed for population enumeration in the census of 1961 to 1991, only the household schedule was adopted for the census of 2001. Thus, there were only 2 schedules, the house list schedule and household schedule. While house listing were done during April September 2000, the referral time of population enumeration through household schedule was 0 hours, not the sunrise like it was adopted in 1981. It is considered to be 0 hours on 1st March 2001. Now, as for the modifications in the census of 2001, apart from expanding the scope of the questions canvassed during 1991, some more questions, that is some new questions were added in both the schedules. Both the schedules in the sense house list schedule and household schedule. Now, as for the house list schedule, new questions put included availability of certain assets, because everybody started having a radio, TV, telephone, a bicycle, scooter, motor, car, etc. So, availability of such kind of assets was posed as a question to the inmates of the house. And next question included was about the banking service availed by the household. As for the household schedule, modifications census in 2001 includes age at marriage for males also, because in 1991 age of at marriage for women was considered. In 2001 age at marriage for males is considered, and expansion of scope of work was taken into consideration, and inclusion of tea, coffee, rubber, coconut, betel nut under plantation and other crops under cultivation. That kind of question was also included in the census of 2001. A new response category, moved after birth, included on reasons for migration to bring out additional migration patterns was also included, and a number of children born alive separately for male and female children to currently married women during the last 1 year was also taken into consideration for posing the questions. Next, the new questions in the household schedule in the 2001 included travel to place of work mainly for non-agricultural activities, because nowadays people travel a lot for going to their workplace. That also was taken into consideration, so that many companies were started at most populated centers, so that people will have a feasible working condition. So, that question was also included in the census consideration of 2001. Now, next, for land under cultivation and plantation, net area sown, net area of land irrigated and tenure status was also included. Next, question on partial or total disability further was also included. Next, the signature of thumb impression of the respondent of the household schedule taken for the first time in the history of Indian census, because thumb impression is one of the unique feature of a particular individual in the household. Okay. So, that was also taken into consideration. Another new feature of 2001 census is to bring forth data on socio-economic parameters, that is literacy and sex ratios for religious groups, while in earlier census information on religious group was limited to their population size alone. The provisional population totals, census paper 1 of 2001 was made available in March 2001 itself, while the final figures and more details including breakup region wise were made available in 2004. Actually, the final figures are as given below. Scheduled caste and scheduled tribe population constitute 16.2% and 8.2% respectively of the total population, as against global population in 2000 of 605.5 crore. India's population of 100 crore May 2000 was the second to China's 127.76 crore. While the annual growth rate, if you see the growth rate from 1991 to 2011 in India was 1.96%, China registered a much lower growth rate of 1% when compared to 1999 to 2000. India's population would actually touch 146 crore by 2035. We have seen the census of India of 1991 and then 2001. Next is census of India of 2011, considered to be the population of India as per 2011 census was 1,210,193,422. As discussed, it has already touched 121 crores, and India added 181.5 million to its population since 2001, slightly lower than the population of Brazil. India, with 2.4% of world's surface area, accounts for 17.5% of its population. Among all the states, Uttar Pradesh is the most populous state with roughly 200 million people, and a little over 5 of 10 Indians live in the 6 states of Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra, Bihar, West Bengal, Andhra Pradesh and Madhya Pradesh. Now, these are the comparison of the census report taken in 2011, 2001 and 1991. Population of India total is 1210854,977 in 2011, in 2001 1028,610,328 and 1991 it was 846,302,688. Males is 62,372,4248 and 532,156,772 in 2001 and in 1991 it is 439,230,458. Likewise, you can see the figures of the females in 2011, 2001 and 1991. Actually, what is the percentage we covered is 74 percentage, and this is you can see the literacy rate age at 7 plus is considered to be literacy rate in 2011 is 74 percentage and 64.8 percentage in 2001 and in 1991 is 52.21 percentage. Among 74 percentage, 82.1 percentage of the males were literate and 65.5 percentage are literate in 2011 and 75.2 and 53.6 are the respective figures for 2001 and 64.18 and 39.29 are the respective figures in 1991. You can just see the literacy is slowly growing up with respect to males and females. Next, you can see the sex ratio females per 1000 males. The sex ratio is there are 943 females over 1000 males. Similarly, 933 females are there over 1000 males and this is 927 females are there over 1000 males. Okay. Next is child population 0 to 6 age group. You can see the child population in 2011 is 918 and this is 927 and 945. Slowly the child population is going down. This is the comparison of population in the years from 1901, 1911, 1921, 31 etc. And 2011 is the highest population 1210.19. Population growth chart is given here. Next, we have seen the various sources of demographic data in India. The first one we have seen is population census. Next source of demographic data is civil registration. Each and every civilian of India was asked to register birth as well as death. So, this kind of civil registration will also help us in enumerating the population. That is, India has been collecting data on vital statistics for over a century. The Registration of Births and Deaths Act 1969 provides for compulsory registration of vital events and issue of certificates, which are now being insisted upon a number of purposes. Recently, issue of Aadhaar cards has been made a vital importance to all the aspects, that is whenever if you want to open a bank account, if you want a gas connection etc., the Aadhaar card is become very important. So, likewise from 1969 registration of birth and death has been made importance, and this will give an exact picture of enumeration in the population. Okay. At the urban centers, the municipal authorities are responsible for registration, while in rural areas the same is done through health, police, revenue and panchayat offices. After this, the data collected through census and civil registration do not provide enough detail for estimation of vital rates. Periodic surveys are undertaken for reliable estimation of such rates. So, the periodic survey is done through a sample. So, a survey by NSS, National Social Service, on population, morbidity, family planning introduced in 1973 to 74 is being repeated every 5 years. Census is taken for every 10 years, whereas the survey is done in every 5 years. Now, this sample registration scheme SRS is an important source of information which provides data for fertility and mortality, that is birth and death. This has for basis a dual reporting system. a continuous enumeration of births and deaths by a local part-time enumerator and an independent survey by a full-time supervisor. The data obtained through these two systems are compared and unmatched data re-verified in the field. So, suitable sample designs are adopted for the purpose. Next, family welfare programs are also conducted for collecting the data. There are various forms and registers for compiling data on service statistics generated by family welfare programs. The data also covers demographic aspects of a target couples. The demographic data collected through these processes are subject to coverage and response errors. So, a country like India with so much diversity, with low educational level and with so many other problems is naturally no exception. However, in recent times several techniques have been followed and adopted to test the accuracy of the data and to take corrective measures. In this session, we talked about various sources of demographic data: population census, civil registration, sample surveys and family welfare programs. Talking about various comparisons of census reports of India taken in 1991 and 2001 and 2011. We have seen what was left out in 1991 that was included in 2001. So, for an updated, for a much reliable census report of 2001, and much more clarifications and much more refining was done when the census of India was taken in 2011. For example, in 2001 the registration of birth and death was made compulsory for various aspects. Likewise, something is being refined for whenever a census is taken in every decennial years. Also, we talked about civil registration, and then whenever birth and death has been registered, we will be able to add the population and subtract the population accordingly. Actually, it will not give the exact picture. So, another method was considered, that is a sample survey, which was done in every 5 years, and then family welfare programs also one of the method for collecting the demographic data. Based on the discussion in this session, the following questions may be posed. What are the various sources of demographic data? Just compare the census report of India in the past 3 decades. Thank you.